Hello, my name is Kevin Cormier, and this is the case study about Southwest Airlines, about their corporate culture and their business strategies. And I'd like to thank you for joining me. One of the things that I found particularly impressive about Southwest Airlines is their corporate culture. This culture has been built over years, and I think it really started in the humble beginnings of the company. They started in Texas and um, faced a lot of opposition from the airlines that were already in business in the area, who were filing a lot of frivolous lawsuits against Southwest to kind of block them from joining the market. Um, Herb Keller, one of the founders of Southwest Airlines, was a lawyer and took on um, most of these cases by and large by himself and was able to win a majority of them, um, and really was able to um, expose these larger airlines for predatory practices that they were engaged in to try to keep Southwest and other upstart airlines from joining the market. Um, so that kind of set the groundwork for the company culture, which is one of resistance, resilience, and just compassionate service, and really um, just a passion for the company and for what they do. Um, and that is really shown through their culture. Um, Love, LUV, is also the stock trading um, acronym for Southwest. That is what they use on the stock exchange. And it is, again, really the cornerstone of their corporate culture. Some of the potential challenges that Southwest faces is the departure of the longtime CEO, Herb Keller. Talked about him in the last slide, a lawyer that helped create the company, was a CEO for a long time, and he has since passed. And um, the current CEO, Gary Kelly, faces some challenges just based on the shining example that Mr. Keller was for the corporate culture. And Mr. Kelly now has that burden of maintaining that culture and helping it prosper and continue on to new generations of Southwest employees. There's also an increase of competition in the airline industry. There's a lot of companies, a lot of airlines, a lot of options for consumers. It's easier than ever to compare fares, to compare different companies, to compare their loyalty programs, and just all the different things that set them apart. So an increase in competition does create some more potential challenge for Southwest. And then continued strategic growth, I put here as a potential challenge as well, just because it's just another reiteration um, of that goal for Southwest to continue to build upon their corporate culture, which is really the strength that is setting them apart from other airlines. There is the low cost strategy that they have implemented, but also the corporate culture really is what the CEOs, the executives have always kind of pinpointed as the main driving force in the success of the company. Um, Ready to face these challenges head on. And one of the ways that they're going to do so is through their mission. Southwest mission we see here is to connect people to what is important in their lives through friendly, reliable, and low-cost air travel. To be the world's most loved, most efficient, and most profitable airline, Southwest will provide a stable work environment with equal opportunity for learning and personal growth. And I think that Southwest really does live through this mission statement. And if I were to grade Southwest management for the job that it's done in crafting their company strategy, um, it can only be given an A plus. Um, some of the things that I enjoy about their strategy, which I do believe to be a winning strategy, is that they put their employees first. And this is in an effort to empower these employees to create success, and personal success. Um, in doing so, the company's employees will then take care of the uh, customers just based on their um, feeling of the company's core values and their ability to share them. The Southwest motto has always been to put employees first, and then customers will come second, but they will be supported by the employees who feel supported by the company. Um, and that is one of the key policies that um, keeps Southwest moving. And one of the other focuses of Southwest, besides the empowerment of employees, another key policy is their low cost and no frills strategy. This started with um, a faster turnaround time that was a goal of Southwest in its early years, and they were able to implement these fast turnaround times through a dedication through their employees. But also the employees that worked for them were not afraid to do any of the tasks that were required to make that turnaround time a reality. Your flight attendants were restocking everything in the plane, getting it ready to go, and turned around so that way they could get uh, customers off of the plane, new customers onto the plane for the next flight. Um, and their original turnaround time was 10 minutes. They increased capacity to the flights that made it a 25-minute turnaround time. And now the times vary. But one of those key focuses for Southwest has been doing what they have to do to make things work for not only their employees but for their customers, and to implement a strategy that reduces cost. Another cost reduction strategy: there are no first class sections on Southwest flights. This makes it a lot easier. Customers do not buy specific seats generally in Southwest planes. They are placed into different boarding groups when they purchase online, but it makes it a lot quicker moving in and getting settled, getting sat in your seat, and it just makes it a more efficient process for Southwest flights than other competitors. One of the other things they were able to do um, in creating their own success is they were actually the innovators in the area of on-peak and off-peak pricing for airline flights. They were able to charge more for busier times and less for times where they generally were getting less customers. So this kind of balances it out a little bit, and makes it make sense for both parties, both the customers and the company as well. Um, so some of the key elements to Southwest culture, as mentioned, is putting their employees first, and that really has been their all-time focus throughout the course of their history. They've always hired from within and promoted from within, rather. All of their CEOs have had multiple years of experience at the company and have worked in many areas. So they really have a full scope of understanding of the company and what its core values are. And those core values involve lifting their employees up and giving them opportunities to succeed. Um, in addition to the strategy of putting employees first and customers second, um, Southwest has also maintained uh, a strategy of hiring employees for their strong values and their strong fit within their corporate culture. They have an opinion that they can teach skills, but that the values and the internal work ethic and culture fit is something that they cannot teach. So they generally hire for culture fit and then teach skills later on. It's another way that they are able to continue to solidify their corporate culture, which is a pivotal part of their company strategy. Again, Southwest, I'd like to reiterate, I believe to be a shining example of how a company can successfully implement a strategy and how they can successfully create a company culture that is really a healthy one and one that leads to um, continued success over many years and through many challenges. Um, some of the weaknesses that I see in the industry are more so just that they're in the industry, not necessarily Southwest um, weaknesses, um, but industry weaknesses or industry challenges. Some of those challenges reared their head during the COVID pandemic when there was a lot less seats available to be sold on planes. But Southwest, again, in their commitment to their employees and their core values, they were able to make it through the entire pandemic while maintaining their commitment to never laying off any employees. And they did not lay off any employees during COVID, and they hope to continue that strategy of never laying off any employees. And those are the recommendations really that we see here on the screen. Um, that I have for the new CEO, Gary Kelly, and for Southwest in general is just not to lose sight of their core values, of their current mission, and of the things that have brought them to this point. They are one of the most successful airlines in existence. They started from very humble beginnings in Texas and have expanded and are now a fantastic airline. They're the one that I fly most frequently. But we see some of the keys to success that I've pinpointed for Southwest is just to maintain those commitments to their core values, to their employees, their customer service, and their low fares. If they continue to foster that belief and empowerment of their employees, then the employees will continue to deliver the excellent customer service, and their customer service will, kind of make up for some of the areas where Southwest has a little bit less pomp and frills than some of the other airlines, and help them maintain their commitment to low fares. And all of these values together will maintain success for Southwest. Um, and I think, again, this has been a great case study because Southwest is such a strong example of what a successful and healthy company looks like and what a corporate culture looks like and how it's kind of created over time and maintained through the management all the way down to the employees who interact with customers every day. So I want to thank you so much for listening to this presentation. Um, and I look forward to answering any questions that you guys have about Southwest. And I look forward to taking a look at your case studies as well. So thank you once more. Have a great day.